what inspired you to start CanEx Jamaica? Tell us a little bit about CanEx Jamaica.
Sure. At the end of 2015, early 2016, Jamaica passed the laws to decriminalize cannabis in Jamaica, and then also to create a framework for a regulated medicinal market. And, I really felt that for whatever reason, I saw some parallels to Trinidad and the steel pan, where there's just this massive local cultural opportunity and advantage, if you will. I mean, in Trinidad, we invented the only instrument of the 21st century, and then we proceeded to do nothing but play it and become really good at that. But we didn't take the steps to, properly protect it, and then therefore Japan came in and, I saw the outrage that happened then. I saw people, really very upset, but the anger was channeled toward the government to say, you need to fix this, right? And that always perplexed me, because that's not how these things work. And if we sit and wait and we don't do what we need to do, then we end up sort of at the whim and fancy of whatever, life, brings us. Yeah. And so I remember seeing a town hall meeting on the news. Actually, one day I read an article about Peter Thiel in the Wall Street Journal that he'd invested $12 million into cannabis. And Peter Thiel is a very, very, very sophisticated and successful investor. $12 million doesn't mean anything, right? It's not a journal. It's not a Wall Street Journal worthy story. And it just jumped out at me. And I was like, that's interesting that they would do that. Either he has a lot more money in cannabis, or he's planning to put a lot more money into cannabis and wants to start desensitizing, the financial markets. And then probably about 24 to 48 hours later, I was watching the news here in Jamaica, which I don't do very often at that time. And they had footage of a town hall meeting, right, where they're talking about cannabis and legalization. And, it had devolved into this very emotional situation, because there was such a fear that, the rules were going to permit foreign investors to come in and take over the market, and the small farmers would not have a chance, right? But the thing is, if you muted the volume, there was nothing there that would make you feel like there was a construct to do something like professional and progressive. You know what I mean? It just was like, what's going on? And I just had this parallel back to the steel pan, and I said to myself, boy, if Jamaica doesn't do something, right, to further the market, 5 or 6 years later, it's going to be what happened. We should have been well positioned. And for whatever reason, that realization came to me, and I just felt like, what could I do? You know what I mean? What could I do? Because having seen it and recognized the fact that inaction, caused what happened in Trinidad to take place, I feel very passionately about the Caribbean. I want to see the Caribbean progress, the whole thing. And any opportunities that are inherently advantageous for us, I want to see us pursue those in a way that serves, the most number of people. And so it's a long answer, but that's really what motivated me to say, what could I do? And I have a lot of experience in events, but not really corporate events. And I just said to myself, what this really needs is a coming together of the local market with interest in coming into the marketplace, and the international community that's already legal. And so that's what we did. We got cultivators in legal jurisdictions to come in, and that way they can speak to local cultivators. We got doctors from legal jurisdictions to come in, talk to doctors locally, scientists, business people, investors. We just went through the whole ecosystem and really try to create a platform where there could be knowledge and understanding transferred from people in those specific verticals. It wasn't somebody coming in to talk about regulations to a cultivator who, that's not their forte. That's not the language that they understand, but the cultivator will understand the language of another cultivator. And that's what we wanted to sort of do. And in the process, we felt it wouldn't just be an exchange of information. It'd also be fostering relationships and fostering a network so that people could then have a broader base of expertise to tap into to help them build their businesses. And we just felt like this is what was needed to help Jamaica become, to move the market in a professional way that could really gain some traction. And, lo and behold, we've been most fortunate that people have responded to that. And, it's grown over time, and we continue to just keep looking for ways to reinvent, improve, ensure better discussions take place, better connections, make the whole experience more memorable. But that's how we started.